Hello, everyone. I am Yulabini Valerie Pathaan, and we're back with yet another live session of What the Film. With so many streaming services, movies hitting theaters each week, and the constant flow of new shows that we're told is a must watch, we know it can get a little overwhelming sometimes trying to keep up with so much of information and content. Sure, our eyes are always looking up for must watch lists, but everything good doesn't always make it to the list. So, how do you sift through all the information? Well, we are here exactly for that reason. We've made your job a little easier by finding all the films that are worth your time each week, particularly the ones that are making it to the theater circuit. So say bye bye to scroll fatigue and just let us help you. Today I'm joined by my colleague Chirag Sehgal, a huge movie buff. Chirag, thanks for joining me yet again. I'm so pumped to pick your beautifully unique brain.
Thank you so much, Valerie, for having me here. Wonderful joining you once again for another week.
Exactly. The last time we spoke, I think it was after.
I think it was last week only, as we discussed Pathaan.
Pathaan, yes. A week after Pathaan, we spoke, no? Okay, so I think we should first address the Shehzada size elephant in the room. What do you think?
Well, Kartik Aaryan, Kriti Sanon Starer undoubtedly was one of the most awaited movie, but the way it performed at the box office is highly disappointing, especially for Kartik Aaryan fans. It was supposed to release on February 10. वो भी push कर दिया था to February 17 because
exactly.
Like as the maker said, out of respect for Pathaan. But obviously we can speculate that there was some insecurity with Shah Rukh Khan starrer, because obviously that is a bigger that is a bigger blockbuster. And even after pushing the Shehzada's release date, it has not really performed very well at the box office. It opened with hardly 6 crores. With 5 days now, it has earned hardly 25 crores at the box office in the country. So clearly, Kartik Aaryan's film, especially after the Bhool Bhulaiya and the Fetty that he gave last year, it is a sort of a flop.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, I really, you know what, at this moment, I haven't watched the film. I don't intend to watch the film, but I have so much to talk about, the dethroning of Shehzada Kartik Aaryan. It's sad, really. I mean, even before that tag Shehzada could stick, it's come off, and it's come off so unceremoniously, right? So like you were just telling me, Chirag, the numbers. I'll just get us through the numbers once again. Shehzada, helmed by Rohit Dhawan, Varun Dhawan's brother, starring Kartik Aaryan and Kriti Sanon in the lead, was released in theaters on February 17, right?
Yeah.
It's been 6 days now since its release, and unfortunately, the film seems to be dying a quick death at the ticket counters. On day one, the action drama collected around 6 crore, like you said.
Yeah.
On day 2, it did slightly better. Day 3 was a bit of improvement, but this is where it gets really depressing. The numbers saw a drastic downward slide on Monday. It garnered just around, I think, 2.25 crore on Tuesday, which was yesterday. It came down to about rupees 2 crore, bringing the total collection so far to approximately around rupees 24 crore. What a disappointment, really. And this is considering the film was made on a budget of around rupees 75 crore, including promotions, right?
If you notice, there's a massive dip from the weekend to the weekdays. Like Sunday, it turned around 7.55 crores, and then suddenly on Monday, it has fallen down to 2.25.
Exactly.
Like not even 2.5, 2.25 crores. It's a massive dip, especially for Kartik Aaryan.
Even his fans are not satisfied with his acting this time. What do you think? Why do you think the film was such a big done?
This is also very clearly proved what everybody, not just in Bollywood, but across film industries have been saying for a longer period of time now, that content is the real king.
It
has very clearly proved that Kartik Aaryan is a very big star today. But as far as the plot of his movie, the story of his movie is not strong enough to bring audience to the theaters, it's not going to work. Your star power might only work to a certain level, But after that, it is only the content, it is only the movie, the plot that actually matters.
Absolutely. I think it all changed around the pandemic, because we were all staying at home, cooped up at home, and we were exposed to so many great international films that now even the Bollywood audience, they want something more, something better, right?
Yeah.
And Bollywood is not giving them that. For me personally,
interestingly, I was reading how Shehzada has underperformed in comparison to even Kartik Aaryan and Sara Ali Khan's Love Aajkal 2. When Love Aajkal 2 was released,
bad. And that was also bad.
And that was despite bad reviews for Love Aajkal 2. Jab Love Aajkal 2 was released, it earned more than 11 crores on its opening day. In comparison to 6 crores that Shehzada has earned now. Or jitna Shehzada has earned in 5 days till Tuesday, it's around 24-25 crores at the box office. Love Aajkal 2 had earned the same amount, 25 crores in its opening weekend. So clearly, like, even if Love Aajkal 2 was a flop, the situation before and after the pandemic has changed. The way the audience is viewing movies now, they're expecting content now has changed, and therefore Shehzada has failed to perform well at the box office.
And Shehzada Kartik needs to do so much better, so much more. For me, personally, I think I have a long list of why I don't want to watch and why I didn't like the film. Even though I haven't watched, I watched the trailer, like I told you earlier. But I think Karthik's biggest mistake was actually taking up a remake yet again. And that too of a blockbuster from down south, which starred the swag king Allu Arjun himself, right? We've seen him in Pushpa, The Rise, Arya. So, I mean, this guy can act. And swag just comes second nature to him. And honestly, I haven't even watched Shehzada, like I told you. But in the back of the mind, after watching the trailer, I knew he'll not be able to match up with Allu Arjun's nuanced acting. Secondly, I think Karthik and the team focused on all the wrong things, especially the promotions. They overdid it. I mean, they didn't even give his fans and the audience to watch the film and decide on their own if the film is worth the watch. It's like they knew the film was not up to the mark, so they just went on a promotion overdrive, and we ended up seeing too much of them, I think, even before the film could hit theaters. And completely, it ended up killing our anticipation. And sometimes I feel you should just let your work do the talking and trust your craft enough to give it a dignified chance at the ticket counters. And I have another reason. I like Kartik Aaryan. I liked a few of his earlier films, but thirdly, like I was saying, they should not have pushed the release date out of respect for SRK's Pathaan. Of course, in many cases, it can either play out well or badly for the film. We can't really predict that. But in Shehzada's case, it just gave out a wrong message that they're already accepting defeat before the fight even started, right? The word that went out...
And then not to forget that when Shehzada was releasing, the makers of Pathaan announced that the ticket price will be reduced to rupees 110. And after that also, Pathaan ke makers stepped into action, and they also announced that, okay, one get one, buy one, you can get one ticket free for Shehzada. So it was like a competition towards Pathaan ki, okay, this movie is working well at the box office. What can we do? What can we do to actually survive? Not even fight, but actually survive Shehzada at the box office. So that in a way has backfired the makers, because it looks very clear that they had somewhere accepted the defeat from Shah Rukh Khan's starrer.
Exactly. As Chirag, as a movie buff, what were your expectations from Shehzada? I mean, was there ever a time you thought Kartik Aaryan can pull this off and give us another hit remake like Bhool Bhulaiya 2?
I'll be very honest. I still have not watched Allu Arjun's original movie. So when the trailer of Shehzada was released, I decided to watch it ekdam clean slate. Say, okay, let's forget that it is a remake. Let's watch it as a single soul movie.
With no preconceived notions.
Exactly, with no preconceived notion, with no expectation कि okay, ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए. But then, even then, it didn't raise that excitement among me after watching the trailer ki, oh, what will happen in the movie? Oh, we should definitely visit the theater to watch the movie. Interestingly, a lot of people who have also watched Allu Arjun's movie, after the trailer of Shehzada was released, we were just discussing about it, and they told me how it is going to be a flop because there's no comparison. And even if we do not stop,
Absolutely not.
like comparison is a different thing, but even if we do not compare the two movies and look at Shehzada as a sole entity, even then it does not excite you to visit a theater and watch
It
Kartik
felt
Aaryan's movie.
sad. I mean,
Yes.
nothing about the trailer or the songs were memorable. For me, I keep doing stories about film and the film industry almost every day, and Shehzada comes up. But even now, I cannot remember the name of the songs for the life of me. I mean, it is that forgettable, nothing worked. And even the song, they reprised that song, Kaun Sa Hai, Character Deela Hai, right?
Yes.
But even
But
that
if
was...
you notice, even that song didn't make a lot of buzz online. Like Salman reacted to it, but even then, it's like release hua for a couple of days. It was trending, but then it disappeared even before the release, maybe.
Just like Shehzada. I think it's going to disappear. What do you think its fate is in the at the box office? You think it'll at least
I was
manage to
also
make
reading that
75
the
crores?
number of screens in a lot many theaters across the country is already reducing now. And by the end of first week, who knows, Shehzada will have less screens in theaters in the country. Whereas Pathaan still has a lot of screens in theaters everywhere.
Almost 1 month after its release, right?
Yeah.
It's still working wonders. You want to take us through the numbers it's garnering at the moment? Pathaan.
So this week, like it's been almost a month now, Pathaan was released on January 25th. And this week it has crossed 500 crores at the domestic, as in Indian box office collection. Whereas globally it has surpassed 1,000 crores. And trust me, even now it doesn't look like it is going to disappear from theaters anytime soon. I'm sure that it will continue to reign theaters at least for next couple of weeks. At least looks like it will be there for next couple of weeks because the craze is such. The word of mouth, with the word of mouth, it is spreading.
It's very good.
It's right. Like it has undoubtedly become not just Shah Rukh Khan's one of the biggest blockbusters, but then biggest blockbusters of all time of the industry.
True, of course. But you should also remember that there's a new film releasing this Friday of a superstar. Akshay Kumar's Selfiee, right? You want to talk about Selfiee?
So Akshay Kumar and Imran Hashmi starrer Selfiee is releasing this Friday. It is undoubtedly a very crucial movie, especially for Akshay, because we have seen last 1 year how he has given, sorry to use the term, but then flops after flops. Like whether it was Samrat Prithviraj, whether it was Ram Setu, he has given flop, and even a couple of other movies, he has given flops after flops last year. Yes. So it has been a very depressing year for Akshay Kumar as well as for his fans. And therefore, even his fans are now very curious to know what the actor is going to bring on screen this Friday, which might save him. Because if this turns out to be another box office blunder, it is surely going to impact Akshay's movie career for sure.
I know. I watched the trailer and honestly, I didn't like it one bit for many reasons. But for one, I thought they gave away the whole plot in the trailer itself.
Yes.
I mean, I feel there's no intrigue left. And secondly, and the biggest reason yet, I think Akshay Kumar should no longer play such glamorized commercial roles. I mean, I think now that he's made all the money he has wanted and reached like the pinnacle of success and superstardom, right? I think he owes it to his fans and to himself to do a bit of more meaningful roles that are centered around the story and not him. I mean, look at Hollywood, look at his Hollywood counterparts. There's George Clooney, there's Brad Pitt, there's Ben Affleck and Mark Wahlberg. They're now doing films with ensemble cast with great content. You will not see a George Clooney or a Brad Pitt running around trees romancing an actress half their age now, would you?
Yeah. So Akshay will also have to now pick and choose regarding what movie he should do and what movie
Exactly.
he should avoid
He
doing.
has that,
For example, we
he's
don't see
at that
Shah Rukh Khan or
stage now.
Salman Khan doing, or even Amir Khan doing all sorts of movies. Akshay, needless to say, his image is such that he'll do 5 movies in a year or 7 movies in a year. But maybe it's high time for him to understand that he will have to pick and choose कि okay ये करते हैं और ये नहीं करते.
Absolutely. You know, some time back, Akshay Kumar, he himself had acknowledged that he needs to seriously rethink and re-strategize his way of working. He said that he wants to dismantle his way of working and think about what kind of films he should be doing. So I seriously hope he does that, because like you were mentioning earlier, his last 4 big films, I just have the numbers with me, so I'll read it out for everyone. Bachchan Pandey, it earned 49.98 crore domestically and 73.16 crore worldwide. Samrat Prithviraj, it earned 68.5 crore in the domestic circuit and 90.32 crore worldwide. Raksha Bandhan, it earned 44.39 crore domestically and rupees 61.61 crore worldwide. And Ram Setu was bad. It also comes around the same. It earned around 63 points.
So if you notice, 4 movies in a year and not even a single could cross the 100 crore mark or could gain positive, or like forget about box office also. These are not critical, critically positive, like the films which receive positive reviews from critics also. So clearly now Akshay needs to introspect regarding, okay, what movie I should be doing, what roles I should be doing, and what kind of content is he putting forth with his films.
Exactly, exactly the way Amir Khan is doing right now. After the failure of Lal Singh Chadda, he said he needs to introspect and take a break from acting, to start afresh, to have a clean slate. I think Akshay Kumar really needs to do that. Right?
And honestly, when the trailer was released, I sort of liked it. Okay, it's a decent. It's going to be a decent film.
Wait, which trailer? Which trailer? We're talking about 4 films.
Selfie trailer was released. I found it decent, but then, like you also mentioned, I also felt like, okay, everything has already been revealed in this trailer. Why do I go to a theater now to watch it? I already know what is going to happen. You need to give me some reason, or you need to leave it to a question mark for the audience.
Right? Even if it's a trailer, leave me at a cliffhanger where I'll be like, no, I want more, something like that, which is not happening at all. So I just hope he bucks up his game sooner rather than later, and then reclaims his throne as the superstar and the Khiladi of Bollywood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I think we're done with all the big releases coming up and the releases that happened last week and previous weeks, right?
Yes.
I think we're about done.
But the one which is left is Ant-Man 3, which also released with Shehzada.
Yes.
This
is for our Hollywood buffs. Yes.
Even though it didn't perform like all Marvel movies perform in India, but still was a very, very tough competition to Shehzada. I have some numbers. Ant-Man has, in its first weekend, it earned 26 crores in India, which is more than Shehzada, because Shehzada in 5 days has earned 25 crores.
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
And if you notice, Ant-Man is not, in India, it has not overwhelmed the audience. It has not overperformed, or it has not impressed completely like
it's doing steadily well. Yes, there's no craze about Paul Rudd or MCU universe.
Like any other Marvel movie, it is not as big as any other Marvel movie in India, but then even then it managed to give a very tough competition to Shehzada.
Exactly. And would you believe it, this one, Ant-Man, the new one, the film has received the worst Rotten Tomatoes score in MCU movie history. And MCU has done about 31 to 32 films. The score they got was a measly 47%. On an average, an MCU film scores anywhere between 80 to 98, right? So I think I was just going through the reviews. I myself haven't watched it, but what the Twitter chat is all about. So apparently, the VFX work is either subpar or just bad, and sloppy editing with many unnecessary quick cuts. Character synchronization or chemistry is apparently bad, and it's just too many things happening at one time. So I would, recommend. I mean, if you guys are planning to watch it, go in just to have a good time, knowing it might just be a one-time watch for everyone. I mean, don't have too many expectations. Would you be watching any of the films this Friday?
I will first be watching Shehzada to see what has not worked well for the film.
Yes. And then anything else that you'll watch because you want to watch. There's Selfiee, there's Ant-Man. Pick one. If you had to pick one.
Ant-Man, I think.
Ant-Man?
The fact that it performed better than Shehzada leaves me a little curious to at least watch it once.
Even if Shehzada comes on OTT, I don't think I can watch it. I mean, the trailer was enough to tell me that, bhai, this is just a waste of time. So, tum kuch aur kar lo. Ye mat dekho. But yeah, that is my own opinion.
And so this is one of the reasons that a lot of people are waiting कि OTT पे release होगी तब देख लेंगे.
उसके बाद slam करेंगे. देखेंगे फिर will slam. I think that's what a lot of people are planning. So anyway, thank you so much, Chirag, for joining me once again. I hope I get to see you next week or the next week after if you're not too busy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for the viewers for joining us once again. You can watch What the Film every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye, Chirag. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.